Let's imagine for a second that your baby is a few days or a week old. You are sleep deprived, you're exhausted, you want nothing more than sleeping a few solid hours. What if you could go to bed in your bed, not on the couch, leave your baby in the care of an expert, and wake up to find that dinner has been made or your baby laundry has been washed and folded? Is this a dream? No, this is what it looks like when you hire a postpartum doula. So what the heck is a postpartum doula? What do they do? And where do you find one? I am a postpartum doula and I have been for years, so that's what we're talking about today. It can be hard to believe that you can have a newborn and you can get some sleep. Now, that is what's possible with a postpartum doula who works overnights. But before we dive into what a postpartum doula does and everything that goes along with that, I want to clarify something here because it can be confusing. There are two types of doulas. So there are postpartum doulas that work with a family after the baby has come home, and there are birth doulas who help the laboring mother. So it's important to understand that some doulas are both birth and postpartum, some are just birth, some are just postpartum. Within this video, we are going to be talking about a postpartum doula. So I just want to clarify that if you were thinking we're headed in the direction of birth here, that's what a birth doula does. So when we're talking about what a postpartum doula does, it really helps to understand that this doula is coming into your home in the first weeks and months after your baby arrives and doing what is helpful to make that transition as a new family to go more smoothly. And this looks different for each family. I have been a postpartum doula for years. I've worked in a lot of different situations. I've worked with a family with families who are bringing home multiples. And sometimes that's the thing that makes them hire a doula. It's like, whoa, more than one baby. This feels like a lot. I've worked with families who have brought home their fourth baby. I've worked with families who have brought home one baby and it's their first, worked with families who have adopted. So a lot of different situations, and there's not one that lends itself best to hiring a postpartum doula. It's really the needs of your family. So what does a postpartum doula do? Well, you can have a postpartum doula come during the day or overnights. Now, personally, I just work overnight, so I'll speak to what that is, but just to have a look at what it looks like to have a postpartum doula during the day, that person can come, usually they have a minimum amount of time that they'll work. So it might be 4 or 6 hour shifts, and they would come during the day. And that's a great option if you want someone to show you how to do specific things. Like you're not comfortable with, you have questions about soothing the baby, the day-to-day, like how am I taking care of the baby or doing this or doing that, or helping you to kind of get into a good routine during the day. That can be really helpful. Now, what I do as an overnight doula is I usually work about 10 p.m. to 6 a.m. So I'm coming for that overnight shift that allows new parents to get a bit more sleep. So can you get a postpartum doula if you're breastfeeding? I'll hear people say, oh, I wish I could get a postpartum doula, but I'm breastfeeding, so it doesn't make any sense. Not true at all. The way that I explain it to people is that I will come in, hand you a baby to be fed, watch to make sure, I'm also a lactation counselor, watch to make sure that breastfeeding is going as it should be, is the latch effective, things like that. And then you'll hand me back this hiccuping baby who needs to be burped and probably kept upright for 20 or 30 minutes and maybe pooped while he was eating, and you're rolling over and going back to sleep. So it's definitely beneficial. Now, if you're formula feeding, you can get that really long stretch in the night. You could go to bed shortly after the doula arrives and then get up right before the doula leaves in the morning. So what do I do as a postpartum doula, or better said, what does a postpartum doula do? Very, as we said, an array of different things, but what could those things be? baby laundry, okay? So I tell families, you know I'm coming on Tuesday night, don't do the baby laundry. Let that pile up, and then through the night, I'm running that laundry. I am folding it, putting it in a basket or wherever it makes sense. I try to keep the house really quiet, so it's not like I would be upstairs in drawers or anything like that, putting clothes away, unless it made sense with the layout of your house and it wasn't going to bother anyone. But really, it's what helps you. Another thing that I do is meal prep. Now, when I say meal prep, I'm not making you like a turkey dinner, but kind of leading itself to what helps you as a new mom to wake up in the morning, or a new dad, to wake up and think like, okay, I have a newborn, but I've got this. Like, this day is off to a great start. And for some people, that's having dinner going in the crock pot. People will text me the recipe, leave the ingredients, and I'll throw together a crock pot meal in the night. Or, as I talk to a new mom, I might say, what feels hard about your day? And she might say, oh, I feel like I'm not eating. I have these small windows of time during the day when I can eat, and I don't know, I don't have anything easy to grab. So it's like, oh, here's some ideas. Let me make you some overnight oats, or let me have a smoothie that you'll have ready to blend in the fridge, or let's cut up vegetables so that when you want to go to grab something, you're grabbing something that makes you feel good. So it can be anything like that. I also set up stations around people's houses so that they have what they need, where they need it. This can look like, helping your diaper changing station on your main level have everything there, bottle stations in the kitchen, different things that as I'm talking with a parent and understanding what's challenging or where they feel like there's like a little hiccup in their system, or where I see from experience something that would be helpful, that's what I'll do in the middle of the night. So people love it. They'll wake up in the morning and be like, it's exciting to see, kind of what happened during the night while you were able to get those extra hours of sleep. So to better understand what is life as a postpartum doula, I did a series in Instagram one night where I took everybody along for the ride as I went about my night as a postpartum doula with these twins. So I will put that here. And then on the other side of this, we will talk about how do you go about finding a postpartum doula. So we'll talk about that next. And if you'll recall, I have gotten the permission of the family that I'm working with to take you along. I'll be posting my Insta stories throughout the night to just let you know, what does a postpartum doula do all night. Okay, it's 9:25. So tonight I work 9:30 p.m. to 5:30 a.m., which is pretty typical for me. So things are about to begin. Come along. I'll check in throughout the night as I can and let you know how things are going. Two babies getting a bath. One is on deck in the bouncy seat with a diaper on, ready to go. And then I have the bathtub ready. So we'll get this started. So usually for baths, what I would be doing if I wasn't videotaping this, honestly, is have the lights really dimly lit, and I would have the sound machine, my phone, the sound machine fan app. So that makes it like a real spa experience, and very often helps to relax them. But these girls are gonna get a bottle afterwards in a dark room, so I'm confident that by the end of this, they'll be nice and cozy and relaxed. Okay, first baby's out. I'm gonna go get a diaper on her and a onesie, and then we'll get, whoops, there she is, and then we'll get the next baby in the tub. Okay, switching off. This is a clean baby, and this baby is about to get a bath. So how adorable are these babies? I told you, adorable babies guaranteed. Hi, girls. Hi. Okay, it is 1 a.m. and I have a load of baby laundry in the dryer, which you can probably hear. So when that comes out, it was in the washer, I just threw it in the dryer. I'll fold that and put that away. And then in the meantime, I'm gonna be freezing breast milk. So I have a reel all about freezing breast milk, which I will link here.
Okay, so I have the clothes that were in the dryer are folded. I have the bottles ready for the next feeding. So when the babies wake up, I will be ready. When one of them wakes up, I will wake both of them up, change their diapers, and then feed them. And then this is a good twin mom thing to know, is that my recommendation is always to buy 2 different color bottles, so that when you're juggling babies and bottles and those kind of things, you can kind of keep it straight. So that's my recommendation, and it's really dark in here, but you can probably hear the babies drinking. I like to leave people with babies with full bellies whenever possible. So since I leave at 5:30 and the babies had just eaten at 3, so hopefully this doesn't backfire. If it backfired, what would happen is that either somebody got the hiccups really badly and I couldn't lay them down, or someone had like a big poop and then I had to change them, and then they would probably wake. I am doing a dream feed at 5, so that means that I'm keeping them swaddled, I'm keeping the sound machine on, and I'm keeping it very dark, and I'm just like topping them off with like an extra ounce.
Okay, it's 6:15 and I am home, and I don't think Instagram makes a filter that makes me like look ready for the internet right now, but this has been a lot of fun. Okay, so you are on board. You want to hire a postpartum doula. Now, how do you do that? I will share a couple of websites that I think will be really helpful for you. But before I do that, I want to talk about certification. There are many, many different certifications that a doula can, or many different places that a doula can be certified. And to be honest, there are people who call themselves doulas who have never been certified. So each organization has its own requirements. I am certified through DONA, which is the Doulas of North America, and they require recertification every few years. My certification involved with working with a specific number of families and getting feedback from those families, reading books, all different things. I'm certified in CPR and first aid. I have background checks. If things like this are important to you as you're looking for a doula and meeting with them, you want to make sure that they have these things. Do they have liability insurance? Different things like that. So you want to, it's really also important that you find someone who who you feel comfortable with, who, you kind of will get that feel of whether this is somebody that you mesh well with. This person will be coming to your home at a very sensitive time. It changes your relationship with your partner. You're getting into a new groove in your role as a parent. It's just a really sensitive time. So it's important that you have someone alongside that you feel comfortable with. And for that reason, I think it's really important that you meet with your doula ahead of time. So you don't want to just talk to them. They seem great. Okay, you're hired. You want to talk with them. Usually it happens by phone, sometimes it's over email, and then you'll set up a time to meet in person. This can happen at a coffee shop. I like for it to happen at people's homes so that I can kind of get a feel for things. If they have a pet, I like to understand, things about that pet, or just make sure that pet is comfortable with me. So I like that meeting to happen at people's homes, but you'll find what's best for you. And you want to meet that person in person, and then likely they will have a contract for you to sign that outlines what your needs are and them agreeing to be able to meet those needs. So how do you find a doula? Well, there's a couple of ways you can go about this. My first recommendation is to ask other people. Either ask friends who have worked with a doula for their recommendations, or ask on a local Facebook group or moms group, and ask if there's someone that people have worked with that they really loved. And that's a great way to find a good doula. Another way is to check out websites, and I'll put them below in the description. A couple of recommendations that I have of places to look, and then you'll have the opportunity. The listings will likely lead to the doula's website, where you can get a feel for whether this is someone who's a good fit for you. Reach out to that doula and set up a time to meet with them. So I hope this has been helpful. I hope that you see that a postpartum doula is a great way to help with that transition to life with your newborn. So If you are expecting a baby, I would love to see you over on Instagram. Follow me at New Parents Academy, and be sure and check out the online courses that I have, Expecting 101 and Expecting 101 You're Adopting. My goal is to help you feel confident and prepared when your baby arrives, and that's exactly what I've done inside of those courses. So in the meantime, I wish you all the best, and I'll see you in the next video.